So the new trailer for Bayonetta came out, and we're gonna draw it.
It seems I'm unfashionably late.
So an important step with any drawing, especially if you're drawing somebody else's character, is to actually have references. So the trailer for this just barely dropped, so I literally had to go into the video itself, and I just took a whole bunch of screenshots. I actually put them all together, and you know, that's kind of the best that I could do from day one, to actually have all the references pieced together. So, you know, if some of the details of the drawing aren't right, you know, I tried. You can only take so many screenshots. You know, they're not super high detailed. It's kind of just the 1080 that's compressed for the video that they show, but hopefully that should be enough to get us through this. Her design is actually really intricate. It has a lot going on in it, so you know, hopefully we can capture all of that. I really think that the hairstyle is cool, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting to do all of the reflected lighting on this design, just because it has a lot of black in it. So I'm just gonna try to figure out how to differentiate and separate her hair from the rest of her clothing, even though her clothing is technically made out of hair. Isn't that a thing about Bayonetta's character? That's the thing about this, is I haven't actually played a Bayonetta game before. The most I know about these is actually from playing Smash Bros. And the occasional weird recommended clip on YouTube. But, you know, if there's any hardcore Bayonetta fans in the comments, let me know kind of what that story is about. I'll be looking it up a little bit before I actually play the game. I just don't have the attention span to sit down and play the two other games, and I don't think I even own the consoles that would be needed to play them. But all I know is I think she has a cool character design. I know a little bit about her, and, you know, hopefully with the limited knowledge I have, we can do this some justice. All right, I think that I'm going to call it there for the day. It's 12 in the morning. I got the sketch done. I am actually happy with how it turned out. I know that there's some stuff that I'm going to need to tweak, but I'm actually going to wait till tomorrow to do that. Sometimes I know that if you spend too long looking at a drawing, even if you're flipping the canvas back and forth, you're kind of just not going to be thinking about it anymore. You get too used to the drawing, so you can't really tell what's wrong with it. So hopefully tomorrow we can go at it with the fresh brain. I'll be able to see what's wrong with it, maybe fine-tune some stuff, and then get that figured out before I actually go ahead and get this thing painted. Alright, so it is the next day. I actually posted a poll on Instagram because I had two different ideas for how this composition would go. One is more pose focused on the character, and I thought that that was more dynamic, but I actually thought that for this drawing in particular, she has so many details that I thought that it'd be a little better to actually zoom in, just so you can actually appreciate them a little bit more close up rather than far away. But yeah, I had a poll on Instagram. Guess you guys agreed with the idea as well, so I went ahead and I went with the zoomed in composition. So we're trying to get the composition in, the lighting right, all of that, make sure that the bounce lighting and reflected lighting and the light source and everything like that is correct. First, I know that it's tempting to want to jump straight into the details, but we got to hold off on that. We got to make sure that this part's right, and then, you know, at the end, we can finally get to the fun stuff. But this is an important step that needs to happen, because if there's something wrong here, you can fix it. It's just a little hard to press on at this stage, just because nothing quite looks right. It's a little discouraging, because you're like, this looks wonky, but you just got to stick with it. You know, you put in the time, it'll start looking right little by little, and you know, until then you just gotta trudge along with it. Alright, so it is the end of day 2. I am actually liking the way that the drawing is looking. We have the shadows in, we have the light source in, and we got some of the basic details down, so I'm just gonna keep fine-tuning those. It's just frustrating because I forgot to record the face. Every time I forget to record something, you know, you just get into the flow of art, what you're doing, and you're like, hey, maybe you should hit the record button. It happens every time. I need to get water or take a nap or something, so I get up, come back, just start working on the thing. Never remember to hit record. I've been doing YouTube for 8 years, and I still forget. Alright, I am pumped. It's day 3. I think I'm not used to keeping track of this stuff. I kind of just work on a drawing until I'm done. But yeah, it is day 3. I can't wait. It's kind of a crunch day, so we have enough of the basic parts of the drawing done that now we can actually just start jumping into some detail. So it's the rendering. This is the longest part. We just got to get through it. It's going to take a while, but I got time. All right, so this is kind of just the grind now. We got the sketch done. We got all of the base coloring done. Now it's just a question of putting in the time to render it. There's no real secret to this. It's just time. I know through the magic of editing, this is going to look really fast and like, wow, he instantly is solving everything, but you'd be surprised at how slow this process actually is. I think it's really important to take your time. You don't want to draw faster than you can problem solve, because, you know, drawing is effectively problem solving. So if you go too fast, you'll make a bunch of careless mistakes, but if you go too slow, so you'll get super bored with the drawing. So I think it's good to just know that this is going to take time and be okay with that. Put on your favorite music, videos, whatever, because, you know, this just takes a while. But I think that that's kind of the fun part of it. You can sit down, you know that for the next couple of hours, the only thing you need to worry about is just going a little bit at a time on this painting. I was actually planning on working on this for a bit longer than I actually did. You kind of get to a point in a day where your brain kind of just crashes and you can tell when you're mentally done. Instead of pushing through that, I just decided to call it there. You know, tomorrow will bring a fresh brain. I'll actually be able to think about what I'm doing and I'll go from there. So I just think it's interesting what we got done. This process is a bit tricky. It's so slow and so minute that you feel like you're not making much progress. So you just gotta reassure yourself bit by bit. It will take time, but it will get done. But holy crap, there's so many details in this drawing. I feel like I need to summon the spirit of Walap just to help me. Hola, Santo, por favor, bendiciones para que podamos saber cómo dibujar esta cosa porque no tengo ni idea de cómo hacerlo. What are you doing? All right, it is day 4. No, I'm not in a different setup. Just underneath my desk. Let's keep going. Alright, so I actually wanted to show you guys something cool that I do for faces, because a lot of people usually ask what I do when I work on faces. So I actually keep the whole face on one layer. The hair kind of just depends on if there's a lot of overlap or not, but her hairstyle is relatively simple, you know, it just goes across her face. And that's it. But yeah, you know, it is kind of scary, the idea of working on one layer, because you're like, oh, you know, what if I ruin the face? But actually what I usually do is I actually make a duplicate. So if you see here, this is the face before I actually started working on the details. But if you actually hold Alt and then drag, you make a duplicate of it. So, you know, if you mess one up, you have the other. I always make a duplicate of the face before I start working, so that way, you know, if I keep this on one layer and I don't like where it's going, I could actually just delete it. You don't need to worry about running out of undo states or anything. You just have a backup ready for you. I do actually like how this face is looking, but I just find it's easier when it's on one layer. You know, it's a bit scary that you're gonna mess it up, but sometimes I think it's good for you to make mistakes, because then you learn how to fix them instead of avoiding them. And, you know, with time, it gets a little bit easier. But yeah, I always have a duplicate. So very detailed! That's the end of day 4. We'll see after day 5. It's just some more details now, so it's almost done. It's It's gonna be 1 a.m. That's day 5. I'm actually liking how the drawing's turning out. This is actually the hardest part though, because you're so close to done, but there's so many little things that's just the hardest thing to deal with. You just want to make sure that you actually get the drawing done because you spent so much time on it that you want to do it right. You don't want to rush it. You don't want to ruin it. But you're also, there's so many little things that kind of build up that you're like, okay, I'm almost done, but I need to do this. And then I need to do this, and then I need to do this. So yeah, I know that I could probably keep working on it today, but I'm actually gonna wait till tomorrow, just so I don't go through the drawing too fast and actually ruin it, because I don't want to do that. But I know that tomorrow, we'll hopefully be refreshed. We'll be able to work on it for a couple more hours. I am liking how it's turning out. I just need to actually finish Bayonetta's guns because she has a lot of guns. And actually fix the lighting, maybe some background stuff. That's about it. Then I should be done. But yeah, I'm liking how it's turning out. We should be done tomorrow. Alright, I am done with the drawing. Might have skipped a couple of days worth of sleep, but that's fine. I hope you guys actually like how it turned out, even with the different style of video. So it's less speed paint and voiceover-y and more like documenting the whole process-y. So hopefully you didn't find that too boring. I hope you guys liked it. I might make a couple more of these because it's definitely a lot funner to make. But if you like the drawing, I will actually link it in the description. I actually already got some replies on Twitter from people saying, make sure you don't forget the mole. The creator Camilla will freaking ban you if you forget the mole. So don't worry, it is here. It's just image compression is real. So, you take big image, you shorten it down. You lose some of the details, but it's there. Anyway, I hope you guys like the drawing. I will have the full res digital versions available for download on Gumroad if you want them. And if you like the channel and what I'm doing, I also have an online store. We got prints, we got stickers, and yeah, I'm gonna go sleep. I'm tired. Bye.